Yes, that's right, folks. You are tuned into another round of the JordiCar series. It's round 5, the Pertamina Grand Prix of Indonesia, right here on Fox Deportes. I am your host, the unpaid intern. Let's get into this track layout. It's a beautiful day here in Indonesia. Unfortunately, we had a lot of rain that delayed the race into today, but we are ready to get racing. It is the first road course of the season. Let's see how the drivers fare on. Let's take a look at the starting grid, shall we? The starting grid, yup, it's Sean Franchitti, another pole, 4th pole in a row for Franchitti. He starts ahead of Just a Bro Moment. Alejandro Garcia and Niaro round out row 2. Cesar Cohen and Robbie McIntyre round out row 3. Palo Season for Trackhouse and Joseph Marks with Juncos on row 4. Row 5 is a Merck lockout, Naran and Miguel. Then we have Sonoda Fan and Nikki Tofu and Andretti lockout on row 6. We move on. Row 7 shows the rookie, Kink Demon and Jack Carroll, Memento and George Brown for Trackhouse. Rounds out row 8. We keep it going, folks. Row 9 is 5th gear for Chip Ganassi Racing. Then there's Real KDY20 alongside him. Then we have Oshlex and Etienne Jones rounding out the grid. Let's do this, folks. The Indonesia Grand Prix starts under wet conditions here. We are off. We are away. Sean Franchitti jumps into an early lead, but he's getting hustled by Just a Bro Moment, trying to go down the inside, trying to go around the outside, and he makes the move stick. Just a Bro Moment steals the lead from pole sitter Sean Franchitti right here on lap 1 as we go through the field. A lot, 3 wide all over the track, folks. You got a lot of things taking place, but Sean Franchitti isn't done yet. He's gonna try and go around the outside. He's gonna make it stick. No, he does not, as we take a look at the fight for P4. Alejandro Garcia cements himself into P3. There goes Sean Franchitti. He powers past and he retakes the lead. And we may be under wet conditions right now, but the sun is out. The track is starting to dry, as you can see there on the top right hand side of the screen. The water on the track is going down, but some rain is expected to come later. So we might still be under wet conditions later as we take a look back at the fight for the lead. Just a Bro Moment is being hustled by Alejandro Garcia, who goes down the inside to take P2. Is Bro Moment gonna fight back? Yes, he does. There he goes down the inside. Just a Bro Moment keeps P2 for now, as Garcia still continues to try and hustle him a bit. There's Joseph Marks in the other Juncos. He slots in to P4. Garcia's gonna try and go down the inside into turn 1. It's not gonna work, but he makes it move. He makes the move stick anyways, as the rain continues to come down a bit. It stopped raining a little bit after lap 1, but the rain has come back to Indonesia. As we said, there was a lot of rain yesterday. That's why we had to postpone the race. And as you can see, we're getting a little bit of those showers from yesterday still here now. But Alejandro Garcia and Just a Bro Moment are going at it for the lead. They're 3 wide as Just a Bro Moment keeps the lead. Franchitti goes round the outside. Is he going to make it stick? They all come into the pits as the track dries out. It's finally dry enough for some softs, some hard tires. It looks like Sean Franchitti's gonna come out with the lead barely. Huge traffic jam coming out the pits. A dry track, dry tires. Sean Franchitti for Chip Ganassi Racing filters out into the lead as Miguel Marquez has car issues. He's gonna probably need to pull into the pits to get that fixed. Alejandro Garcia goes around the outside. He's on the soft tires right now. It looks like rain is gonna come back. Will these drivers be forced to pit again before the end of the lap? We'll have to see, but Garcia goes down the inside. Alejandro Garcia and Joseph Marks follow suit. It's a Juncos 1-2 as they both come into the pits as the rain begins. Amazing scenes here for Juncos Hollinger Racing, powered by Ferrari. They're all in the pits now, and they both come out 1-2 again. It's a Juncos 1-2 here in Indonesia as we get through a quarter of the race. Sean Franchitti is now relegated down to P3. It looks like Joseph Marks is going to try and make a beeline for the lead. He's going to try and hustle his teammate, but it doesn't work out as the rain actually stops. Track is still wet, but it's beginning to dry out a bit. It looks like the rain has stopped. There goes Palo Season for Trackhouse, trying to get around Sean Franchitti. And it looks like the track is drying a bit. It's not dry enough for the dry tires yet, but Palo Season made the climb. He is now into P3 as the 2 Juncos Hollinger Ferraris still continue to go at it. Joseph Marks behind his teammate, race leader Alejandro Garcia, He's going to try and make it down the inside. Not on that wet patch of grass. He's going to allow Palo Season to go right past him. Palo Season assumes P2 for Trackhouse. We have a couple drivers in the back on dry tires, though. We have King Demon, Jack Carroll, Nicky Tofu, Etienne Jones. They've all taken the slick tire gamble. Interesting to see that, but now that the track is dry, the leaders have come into the pits. There goes Alejandro Garcia, our race leader. It appears as though Joseph Marks actually lost a spot to Franchitti coming out the pits. It looks like he's going to lose another one. Joseph Marks is now into P4. That's not what Juncos wanted to see. They were leading the race quite comfortably, as Miguel Marquez and Momento have a little issue right there in pit lane. But yeah, Alejandro Garcia continues to lead here. Palo Season's going to try and go round the outside of Sean Franchitti. He's going to trying to go for a... it's kind of hard to say what he's trying to go for. But Franchitti's doing a great job of defending, as Joseph Marks now trying to retake the P2 he had before the pits. Palo Season goes round the outside and he gets into P2. Is Joseph Marks gonna go 3 wide here down the backstretch? No, he doesn't. Palo Season boosts away from his rivals, and Joseph Marks trying to go down the inside of Sean Franchitti to no avail. There's Cesar Cohen, 5th gear, Miguel Marquez, Jack Carroll, King Demon, Sonoda Fan, Etienne Jones. We got a lot of battles taking place on track right now, folks. But if we go back to the race leader, it's your boy Alejandro Garcia, but he's on the softs and the 2 drivers behind him are on hards, so his softs are gonna die quicker. So we might see him come into the pits now. No, he doesn't. He continues to stay out for a bit, but as time goes on, those softs are gonna start degrading, and Franchitti and Palo Season are effectively in the net lead here, as as Garcia rather will be pitting before they do. There's Niarel in a comfortable P5 right now as we continue to go through the field. 5th gear trying to chase down Robbie McIntyre. It looks like Miguel Marquez got his car fixed. And the rookie King Demon up to P11. Love to see it. We go back to the race leader. Sean Franchitti is in P3. Palo Season starting to gain on Garcia, whose tires are starting to go off. Is he going to come into the pits now? Yes, he does. That leaves Palo Season and Sean Franchitti to battle it out for the lead. Juncos teammate Joseph Marks follows his race leading teammate Garcia into the pits. They're both coming out. They've pit for another fresh set of soft tires. We're looking at Sean Franchitti right now. We're on board with him as he chases down the Trackhouse car of Palo Season. These two have made pretty big gains. You can see Niarel in the background, but I don't think he's close enough to, you know, make an attempt at taking the lead. But he's showing decent pace at the moment, but the hards seem to be going off. But there goes Sean Franchitti. He's going to try an undercut on Palo Season. So Franchitti and Niarel come into the pits. That's going to allow Alejandro Garcia on his softs to pull off a massive undercut, and he takes the lead effortlessly. But behind him is just a bra moment, who is on the hards. So now he's going to be watching the clock, waiting for those hards to die down so that he can take the lead for Ferrari. But at the moment, it's still Palo Season leading the race on some pretty worn hards that he will definitely be coming into the pits on soon. As you can see, they're almost in puncture range right now. Palo Season comes into the pits. Will he come out ahead of Sean Franchitti, or will Sean Franchitti's undercut work? Palo Season goes into the pits, and it does. Sean Franchitti well ahead of Palo Season. As a matter of fact, so are Joseph Marks and Niarel. So Palo Season has a lot of work to do, but he's on the hards, so the race will come to him. But as it regards the stranglehold on the lead, that's none other than Alejandro Garcia. He leads here at Indonesia. We're past halfway at the moment. Niarel is trying to make a move to get into P3. He's doing battle with Joseph Marks. Here comes Palo Season on the fresh hards. He's wasting no time as Joseph Marks comes into the pits, and so does race leader Alejandro Garcia. Palo Season has made up quite a lot of time, even on his outlap right there. He's already caught up to Niarel, whose softs are starting to go off a bit. So let's see what Palo Season does. Can he make a move down the inside? Nope, he's blocked by Niarel. He goes into the grass a little bit. He's gonna need to be patient if he's gonna have any hope of winning this race. Sean Franchitti, the pole sitter, is your race leader ahead of Niarel and Palo Season. Alejandro Garcia pit from the lead. He comes out in a comfortable 4th place as Sean Franchitti pits from the lead. Is anyone going to follow him? Niaro looks like he's following him. Yes, he does. That puts Palo Season and Alejandro Garcia into the lead. And there goes Joseph Marks into P3. Sean Franchitti comes out a brilliant P4 on the fresh, soft tires. Interested to see how much time he'll make up. Here's Alejandro Garcia. He's on some pretty good soft tires right now, and Palo Season is on hards that I believe are quite worn, so don't be surprised if Garcia has more grip, but he's going to need to take advantage of that extra grip. As you can see, Sean Franchitti and Joseph Marks are going at it, trying to state their claim for P3, as Garcia continuing to close the gap to Palo Season. But as you can see, both of their tires are starting to go off now. You see, Garcia may have pit later, but he pit later onto a softer compound, so it's safe to say they have similar amounts of wear at the moment, but the two are still going at it. But as you can see on the Delta, Sean Franchitti is coming. He's catching up. Yeah, he's on the freshest tires of the three. He's on completely fresh tires, and these two their tires are completely shot. Don't be surprised if Sean Franchitti takes the lead before the lap even completes. Okay, so Garcia he goes into the pit lane, but Palo continues to lead the race on dead hards. He gets held up by Etienne Jones, who just came onto the pits on fresh softs. But Palo Season struggling on these dead hards. Sean Franchitti's gonna make a meal of him. He pushes Etienne Jones out in front of Palo Season. He's gonna try and make a move down the inside right now. Etienne Jones is starting to be a thorn in the side of our race leader for Chip Ganassi Racing right now. Etienne Jones continues to hold him up. It's not even on purpose. Yeah, Jones has fresher tires than our race leader, so it's up to Sean Franchitti to get by. There are no blue flags here in JordiCar, folks. Looks like just a bro moment, and Cesar Cohen going at it for what appears to be P6. Sean Franchitti and Palo Season come into the pits. Alejandro Garcia filters out into the lead, and Joseph Marks in P4. He's on fresh, well, not really fresh tires, but warm tires, definitely. He's going to try and pick them off if he can, but it doesn't seem as though he has the pace. Palo Season and Sean Franchitti still in a heated fight for P2, but Joseph Marks is not backing down, folks. The track house car is going to go down the inside of Sean Franchitti, but he doesn't make it stick. Sean Franchitti holds on to P2, and our race leader, Alejandro Garcia, on the hard tires with just 4 laps to go, leads this race. It doesn't seem that there will be any more rain for the rest of the race, but I wouldn't be shocked if all the drivers still have to make one more stop before we get to the end of this race. I don't know if anyone has tires that can make it to the end. If they try, the tires will be definitely worn. As you can see, some guys in the back pitting right now. There's Sean Franchitti. He's managed to keep Palo Season behind him. Joseph Marks is in a comfortable P4 at the moment, but it's Alejandro Garcia that leads this race comfortably as we get to 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go here in Indonesia. Sean Franchitti 1.5 seconds behind our race leader as Robbie McIntyre goes round the outside of Cesar Cohen. Cesar Cohen relegated to P8. McIntyre gets by as the track gets a bit cloudy. Track temp's gonna go down a bit as Sean Franchitti starting to close the gap on our race leader. It'll be the white flag next time by, folks. Franchitti on the softs, Garcia on pretty worn hards. And as you can see right there, Sean Franchitti has narrowed the gap. Is he gonna try and make it go down the inside? No, he can't make it work. Both of these drivers are on dead tires as the white flag waves. It's a cloudy end to the Indonesian Pertamina Grand Prix. Sean Franchitti goes round the outside. He takes the lead on the last lap. Is that rain I see? Folks, it's raining. The weather folks are saying that it's raining right now. These guys are on dead dry tires. And has the rain come? I don't see any rain. I've been told it's gonna rain. Yes, it's raining, folks. Who's gonna get to the line first? Who's gonna survive in these low grip conditions? Sean Franchitti sliding off the track. Alejandro Garcia. These guys are on dead tires. Is Franchitti gonna make it? Final corner. Sean Franchitti. He goes off the track. Can Garcia get him? He goes off the track too. Sean Franchitti wins here at Indonesia from pole. It's the first time all year he has converted a pole into a race victory. Sean Franchitti wins at last. Niarel holds off just a bro moment for a top 5 finish. What a race. Robbie McIntyre is gonna keep Cesar Cohen behind. It's a monsoon here in Indonesia. Jack Carroll comes around to take P10, the last driver to finish in the top 10. What a race, folks. Sean Franchitti is your winner here in Indonesia, ahead of Alejandro Garcia. Palo season takes P3, Joseph Marks for Juncos in P4 and the P5. The two Ferraris, 6th and 7th. Cesar Cohen, a great drive for him, he's in 8th. If we look down the field, 5th gear, the first driver outside the top 10, Memento, our pole sitter from round 1, he's in P12. The Andretti didn't have the best of races, neither did George Brown, Real KDY, or Naran. But that's the race result, folks. If we look at the championship, though, Sean Franchitti now has an unassailable lead. He has skyrocketed into the points lead. It's an all-Scott 1-2. Robbie McIntyre and Sean Franchitti fighting it out for the JordiCar Championship. Palo season in P3. Jack Carroll has sunk since winning earlier this year. If we look down the order, we'll see King Demon, the only rookie in the field. He's 17th with 68 points. There's David Malukas, our Jordi 500 competitor. He's in 18th in the standings. There's me! Look at that, lads. It's me. Intern, 22nd in points at 20 points to my name. You love to see it. Anyways, we look at the championship as it regards teams. Chip Ganassi Racing leads the championship by 22 points over Scuderia Ferrari. A great run by Juncos today sees them in 3rd, not too far out. That's JordiCar here on Fox.